all night has no spirituality. It's just a religious thing people do. They think it is only in the all night. Trust me, I have stopped all night. Because when you go to the all night, in the morning, I cannot go to the weddings, I cannot go to the funerals, I cannot do it. You'll be surprised, you'll be in your clerical collar, and you are seated there, you are dozing. And people are nothing to you. You look so irresponsible because you've come from an all night. I believe in all night totally and with all my heart. I am a product of all night.
Dr. Lawrence Tetteh is a very popular and influential man of God in Ghana. He's also popular in Africa and other parts of the world. He's so influential. I mean, he has held several Christian events, several crusades. He has led people to Christ, and a lot of young men and women look up to him. Indeed, he's a mentor to a lot of up-and-coming young ministers of God, the preachers of the gospel. Recently, he made a certain remarks on GTV, Kafri Day's show on GTV, the nation station. And then in his remarks, he sought to try to condemn the fact that all night services that is being held or that are held by churches are not necessary. He even went to the extent of saying that, in fact, the witches or the spirit or the principalities that worry people, that torment people during the day, are even more powerful and more troublesome than the principalities that worry people in the night. Yes, he did. And he came under the heat of social media. People on social media rose against what he said. Some of them condemned him, and then he's come back to render an unqualified apology. This content has the two clips. His earlier submission about all night, and then the second video is his unqualified apology and further and better explanation as to why he said what he said earlier on. My name is Aka. Please subscribe to my channel, like the video, comment and share. Of course, I'm here to serve you with better content, and you know already. Let's get into the first video, and then the second video will follow right after we watch and consume his first submission. My name is Aka. See you in the next one.
A lot of people don't even understand why we do all night here today. All night has no spirituality. The reason why all night started was the early days of charismatism. Pastor Mensota was using Bedin Power Hall. They rented it. Isaac Kwe was using Social Advance Hall. Almost everybody, actually, were renting halls and things. You don't have a place to have a space to be able to do church service. The only place you can do it is a school church building after they've closed, and it's only during the Friday night that you have availability. If you are fortunate to have a church, a Methodist church, Presbyterian church, Anglican church building to use, the only time you can use it is in the Friday evening, and that is how all nights began. People think that all night is spirituality. In fact, the witches in the day are dangerous than the witches in the night. So today, you realize that a lot of people are not, and I'm not killing your spiritism, but sometimes it's just a religious thing people do. They think it is only in the all night. Trust me, I have stopped all night. Because when you go to the all night, in the morning, I cannot go to the weddings, I cannot go to the funerals, I cannot do it. You'll be surprised, you'll be in your clerical collar, and you are seated there, you are dozing. And people are nothing to you. You look so irresponsible because you've come from an all night. And Saturdays is when you do this. So there are a lot of things that we need to just get the mindset to change so we understand the reason why we do certain things. So today, if you have your own church building, then nothing prevents you from having a late evening program, close late at least, and go home instead of the all night. And then also, I'm the first to admit, like Sheikh did, that sometimes you become a nuisance in a community. If your church is in a close community and you're having an all night and you are binding the people. Recently, I was told a particular church was binding the devil, metia bunsan, bang, bang, bang. And the drunkard was next door. He got upset, so he put on some dark cloth and walked into the church building. Yeah. There was a scatter. Everybody was running away. Unfortunately, everybody was running away. The instrument, the pastor, everybody was running away. Unfortunately, there was this Bafine, the cripple there who was sitting there. They said, oh, I like that. The people with the feet, so please, let's learn let us all learn to keep our
Moderation.
community.
I mean, moderation.
Moderation
Yeah,
is the key.
moderation.
Let's keep
Moderation
our
is
community. Let us not get, and trust me, it is not how loud we become that makes the spirit.
Yeah.
It's how much
Yeah.
of our heart
I agree.
is connected
I agree.
to God.
See, I believe in all night totally and with all my heart. I am a product of all night. My spiritual father, Pastor Francis Akwesi Amwaku, believed in all night, and that is how we all grew spiritually. All I said was that we should not use all night to create environment for people to condemn and attack Christianity. Jesus Christ believed in all night. He prayed all night. And before he even appointed his disciples, he prayed. He prayed until he had direction to do that. Paul believed in all night. Moses believed in all night. And as a matter of fact, if we want to even check the history of Ghana Pentecostalism, Peter Enim was praying, as a man can say, of course, on my father's birthday, 17th May 1919. My father was born on 17th May. And that is where the fire fell and Pentecostalism started in Ghana. So I believe totally in all night. What I'm saying has been misconstrued. And what I'm saying is that a lot of churches are holding their all night within the community that is residential. And that makes a lot of noise and disturbs the community. But if we can seclude ourselves, we used to go to all night in retreat centers, in schools when they've closed. My father and the Lord used to take us to KTI, Kumasi Tenka Institute, and we used to do all nights there. Back in Europe, all night that we've held have been held in areas where we are not in the midst of the people. So people who want to hear their voice are the only ones who have been kept. As a matter of fact, most of the spiritual leaders we have today, they had all night to come together and it put us together. And that is why we prayed massively to see the presence of God. There's a gentleman now who's one of the young guys in town called Prophet Nonase Opuku Sarkodie. He decided to be holding his all night at Prampam, very secluded. So people who want to go and shout and make their presence known before God and to seek the face of God, go to Pram and hold those all night. I believe in all night. I hold all night myself. I was holding major all night at the Trade Fair Center. And that was not something in the face of everybody. So those who come to the all night are those who want to be part of the all night. I could not have condemned all night because I am myself, I'm a product of all night. And so to say that Lawrence Tetteh says all night is not spiritual, I think it was misconstrued. We were speaking on noise making on GTV, where I was a panelist together with Sheikh Arimerial. And I was saying that sometimes we think we have to do all night before we see spirituality. But that you can be spiritual in the morning, you can be spiritual in the afternoon, you can be spiritual in the evening. It's not only during all night that you can be very spiritual minded. And so I think that is what was misconstrued. But I want to affirm to every man, every woman that I, Lawrence Tetteh, I believe in all night. I believe in the spirituality of all night. I believe in what Jesus did when he prayed all night. I even believe in the all night that Paul organized in prisons where he prayed until the walls were broken, the chains were broken, and the gates were broken. And that is what I want to do.